The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the speaker and don't necessarily represent those of the station, its staff, management, or ownership.
Well, good Sunday morning, and thank you for tuning in today. My name is Chuck Benfer, and I'm your host on your local iHeart radio stations, and thank you for listening to Clearview Hudson Valley. This show is committed to all the issues that face our community, and today I have with me a couple guests. This topic is probably one of the most important ones that we deal with at the radio station. It's one of the most important ones that we are going to deal with as a society, and it really is part of the foundation of what President-elect Trump's campaign was about, and this was the continued care of vets, and making sure that vets get the help that they need in a lot of different areas. And today we're with Robert Jennings, the program manager, and Adam Roche. Did I say that?
Roche.
He's the program assistant, and the organization is Vet2Vet. It's a veterans peer services. It's part of the Mental Health America of Dutchess County. Good morning, guys. Thank you for getting up early and spending some time with me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. So when it comes to vet, we have at the radio station at iHeartMedia, we have a real soft spot for them because as veterans yourselves, we want to thank you for your service. We want you to know how much we appreciate all the sacrifice that you made in your life. And we recognize, and I think that we recognize it because we see it. When you go off to war or when you just go off to service, you see things and you do things that are really long-lasting and detrimental, right?
Absolutely.
And this program, this Vet2Vet program, probably the most ingenious of its kind in that it's taken veterans and dealing with veterans who are having some trouble. So tell me a little bit about this program and how it started.
Well, thank you for having us. Yes, my name is Robert, program manager for the Vet2Vet Dutchess County. We at Dutchess County, we've been going on for 4 months now in the program, and we actually look at 3 different programs within the larger program. One is the peer-to-peer mentoring that Adam is overseeing currently, and then we're also looking at social activities for the veterans and their families as well. That's quarterly currently, and support groups that we're getting off the ground in January, mid to late January. I'll speak on the social activities and the support groups, and Adam will talk to you about the compeer part of the program.
Okay, and Rob, you were part of military service in the Army.
Yes.
Right.
Between active Army and Army Reserve, 2005-2014, I did a 12-month tour in Iraq from 2006 to 2007, and then an Afghanistan tour 9 months, 2012 to 2013, and been working with veterans ever since leaving service. So,
okay,
very excited.
Well, thank you again for your service. And Adam, Adam Roche, just so we can say, "Booyah!" Is that right?
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Hoorah! Yeah, United States Marine Corps.
Hoorah! Yeah. Thank you for your service. Now, you were Marine in 2000, correct?
Yes, I was Marine Corps 2000 to 2004. I was involved in the initial invasion of Iraq in 2003. I was infantry machine gunner in 0331, and also I was involved in Operation Enduring Freedom. We were the embassy. I was a sergeant of the guard in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Wow. And so you saw a lot of heavy-duty action in the beginning of that.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service, and I'm glad that you made it back to us safely.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, is there any inner office rivalry between you guys with the Marines and the Army?
Not yet, I don't think.
I think he knows.
And that's funny because he says he thinks you know. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. It's great to see you guys able to work together. All right. So, Bob, tell me a little bit about this. First of all, let me compliment the service. Having had a number of friends and family members who've gone through AA, this program, what made Alcoholics Anonymous work was that it focused on alcoholics and people with issues of substance abuse, dealing with people who are alcoholics and dealing with issues of substance abuse, right? Because you're peers. You mm-hmm. kind of see the same visions and you kind of know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Somebody can call me, frankly, and ask me to come over and talk to somebody who's a veteran who's trapped himself in his basement because he feels like he's still in Baghdad or something. Mm-hmm. And to be candid with you, I'd be happy to talk to him, but I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this seems to be a great way to take people of common experience and put you in the same room, right?
Right.
Is that the basic premise of the
Absolutely,
idea?
yes.
Okay. So tell me, Bob, a little bit more as a program manager.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you dealing with? How are you dealing with it? How are you starting it initially? And then Adam, my understanding is that you go directly mentor to mentor, guy to guy.
Vet to vet.
Vet to vet. Okay, good.
Well, we've been around for 4 months already. The kind of veteran we're seeing in Dutchess County varies from a very young adult to a much older adult.
And our veteran population in Dutchess County is about 8%, right? It's about 8% of the adult market.
It's 18,000 plus veterans
18,000.
in Dutchess
So,
County.
yeah, so that's about, if you look at the adults 18 plus, that's about 8% of our population in Dutchess County.
Okay. Yes. We service through the program. We service veterans of all eras and all discharge types, which kind of makes us unique amongst other veteran programs in the county, state, and nationwide. We're really looking to match veterans who are in need of peer support, who are having a rough time, no matter what era they served in, to pretty much get connected to another veteran or reach out to another veteran and pretty much relive that camaraderie that they had in military service. So Adam and I found that is critical in the kind of healing process. The camaraderie is big.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where our program comes in, all three components, from peer-to-peer to the quarterly social events and then the weekly support groups. All three of those programs provide huge services for any veteran who is in need of services.
Right. And it's interesting that you make the distinction regardless of the type of discharge. So you would deal with anyone who left for whatever reason.
Right.
Okay.
They could have 3 months in service and a dishonorable discharge.
Right.
And all the way to somebody who was awarded 3 Purple Hearts. I mean, we take anyone who is in need of services. So,
man, that's fantastic. So, Adam, how do you get involved with these guys? How often does a veteran call up and say, I need help, versus how often is it that somebody in their family calls up and says they need help?
Well, that's a very very important thing, because a lot of times veteran, being a veteran, that stigma of I'm good, I'm not broken, I'm all right, and the family members are the ones that really see it and understand. They know how their loved ones are supposed to act, they know how their loved ones are supposed to feel and supposed to look, and a lot of times they're the ones that are calling. And if you guys are out there listening, family members of veterans, and you can see this, definitely give us a call and let us know. And if anything, we'll come there and talk to him directly, talk to the veteran, him or her directly, and just about the program, and just getting them. Sometimes just getting out of bed and taking a walk or something is a huge step in situations like this. It's just something that we know we've been in that hole pretty much, and we're willing to jump in that hole and show you the way out of that.
Right. And it's interesting that you stay in bed is something that is directly associated with post-traumatic stress disorder, right?
Yes, sir.
And it happens with car accidents. It happens with victims of crime. It happens with
just depression. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really just a depression and an inability. And frankly, it is an inability to actually get out of bed, to get yourself motivated to get out of bed. What other types of things can some family members look at or look to kind of recognize that would be slightly different behavior, because not everybody stays in bed all day, right?
No.
So,
well, there's a great program. It's actually new. It's from NAMI of Dutchess County. It's called Home Front, and Joanne Brown is the lady who's the one to talk to with that. But what it is a 6-part program, 2.5 hours. And the thing about this is you could do it right online. It's completely free. It's for family members of veterans, and we'll show you, go through every aspect. And it's people who are teaching. The people who are teaching this have been through this, have seen it, have loved ones, they understand, and they'll tell you exactly what to look for and ways to deal with it too. And right there, they show support for that too, getting ways, all the numbers in the area, and the most important thing also with being part of Mental Health of America is we can utilize their programs also through our Vet to Vet, as far as substance abuse, child care, anything that they have to offer, we can offer also to those veterans that are coming in and the veterans' family. So it's not just that.
Right. So this program comes from essentially one guy, right? There's a lot going on in observation. So when we look at programs that are designed for people to recognize behavior, right? So right now in the schools, there are these new emerging programs that teach children to look for behavior that's different in their classmates. And they show a video, for example, of scenes going on throughout the school, and they ask kids what they've noticed about it, and then they isolate the kid in the back who is going to be a shooter. And it's, it's based on factual information of what's happened in the back. But if you look at the behavior of that kid, and you can immediately recognize, once you know what to look for, you can immediately recognize those kinds of things. And so this program, this Vet2Vet program, as I understand it, really is based on some of the observations and some of the things that came from Joseph P. Dwyer, right? So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, explain to me a little bit about how this came around.
Well, PFC Dwyer, Joseph P. Dwyer, that's the name of the grant for New York State. And what he was an Army medic deployed in 2003. And there's an iconic photo that goes around and went viral. Actually, really giving the American people, like, hey, this is the reason why we're over there helping our, and it's an Iraqi child who was shot, and PFC Dwyer has him cradled in his arms, getting him to safety and helping him out.
Right.
Unfortunately, what happened is which happens to a lot of veterans, in our area, is he got out of Iraq, but he brought the war back with him. And there was reports of PFC Dwyer patrolling his backyard for Iraqi insurgents, and also looking out his window with concave mirrors, looking at cars traveling down the road, and thinking it's Iraqi convoys or stuff like that. Completely lost his mind, and not lost his mind, just PTSD severe. He started to self-medicate himself with substance abuse. He was doing pills, drinking nonstop, and also huffing paints and all types of stuff like that. Unfortunately, 2008, he lost that battle, and he committed. It's like that stuff that cleans the computer things, the air, the cold air thing.
Canisters, like the dust off
Dust off,
cans,
that's it.
the WD-40 cans, anything like the
And what do you do?
Cans.
Like put drugs in it or something?
No.
Or
You spray it into a bag and just start inhaling pretty much, and it just kills your brain cells and just.
I've heard you could probably it's very common with the dust canisters,
right,
with the little spout on it. What people do they will inhale that substance.
So they're actually inhaling the stuff that's inside the can. So in the WD-40 case, they would be inhaling that silicone? Or?
It's supposed to be good. It gives them that kind of rush to their brain.
Right.
But with that rush comes, sometimes instant death or
psychosis.
Yeah. So.
And that's what happened. He, lost his battle and ended up committing suicide in 2008.
Yeah.
And that's why in 2012, New York State got this program. And one of the things that his mother and his wife said that really helped him out, and through his healing, was talking to another veteran about shared experiences.
Right.
And that's what this program is about, pairing up a vet with another vet and someone that's been there and, knows how to get, like I said, out of the hole and actually, follow me type of, let me teach you exactly, not teach you because everyone's got different ways of getting out of stuff, but show you what I did and help you out on things that you can do also.
It's a helping hand.
Right. Yeah. So, and you guys have been down in those holes yourselves, right? You guys have seen a lot of horrible things, and you have come out of it, and you've had to go through some varying levels of support or continued support, right? Am I getting that right?
Yes, sir. It's you're out of it, but in the same sense, it's always there, and we just we want to teach you how to live with it, and actually, it's something that it's there. It's something that we should embrace as a veteran of the United States of America. Also, you look at that, a veteran is the best that U.S. has to offer, and that's how a veteran should look at themselves.
Right.
We are what America has to offer. We are the best that America has to offer, and that's the one thing that we need to let these vets know that they're not there by themselves. They're even when they get out, you still have a support group with you.
Right, and I think it's great. We're talking with Robert Jennings and with Adam Roche from Vet2Vet, which is a division of the Mental Health of America of Dutchess County, Mental Health America of Dutchess County, and this Vet2Vet program. Robert, how will somebody get in touch with you if they need your support?
Yes, actually there's two good ways to get in contact with us. If you're a veteran who feels that they're in need of services for any reason, or if you're a friend and family member of a veteran who doesn't look like they're doing too good, there's two ways to reach out to us. One is if you call 845-473-2500, you can get me at extension 1306. And Adam Roche at extension 1307. Those are our telephone numbers through Mental Health America. And then you can reach us at MHADutchess.org/vet2vet. That's VET number 2 VET.
And they can also, you can see things. There's some stuff on YouTube. There's some stuff on Facebook that are through the Mental Health of Dutchess County. Right? So Mental Health America of Dutchess County. You can go to their website as well. How quickly can you get to somebody? How quickly can you help somebody? What's the size of your staff? Do you have like code red urgency, different things for people? Like, explain how people, we got a problem, I need help, I'm going to call these guys. What did they say to you that they need you to come in right away?
If somebody contacts us through email or through the phone, if they can reach us, they can leave an email actually in a response through email,
right.
Or leave a message if we're not able to connect instantly.
Right.
We will get in contact with you within most likely 10 minutes.
Right.
Because we have communication devices that are plugged into our emails and our phone system. So there's no taking off on the weekends. We're always connected. We can reach out pretty much all the time, anytime. We will get back to you as soon as possible to pretty much connect to our service.
Right. So when you're talking about the vets that you guys deal with, my assumption was that it was mostly current war era vet. Wars of the last 20 years, right? So we went into Iraq in 2001, right? 2001?
2003.
2003. Okay. So we're talking about the last 14 years, 13 years, right? That would be, but that's not true, is it? You're finding yourself you're still seeing guys from Vietnam. You're still seeing. Tell me a little bit about how that's coming around, because aren't they different experiences? What happened in Vietnam versus what happened in
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and a lot of the times we have our mentors or a lot of Vietnam era mentors who've been there, who've done that, like I said, and they're the same way. Veterans, you raise your right hand, to the and pledge allegiance to the state or nation, and they want to help out as much as possible also.
Right.
And and then anyway, and just showing them, showing a younger veteran maybe that may be lost, show them a way of how he did it and how he came through.
Right.
Yeah.
How difficult is it for you guys to see somebody like Colin Kaepernick using a moment like the national anthem or something to protest the country the way that he does and taking a knee? Does it bother you at all?
It bothers me just because of the fact, it's different people look at the flag in different ways, and I understand that, and he has the right to do, what he's doing. But the way I look at a flag is it's draped over a coffin. It's it's draped over a loved one that's given everything he possibly can for this country,
right.
And that's why you see that when someone's making millions and millions of dollars through money with people that are doing in the same situation as the man or woman that passed away,
right.
God forbid, and he's profiting off of these people right now, and he's doing that, and now he's trying to make a stand, which by all means, he has the right to do that, but in the same sense, as personal for myself, that's the way I look at it, which is I don't know, I agree
with Adam. The flag means various things to various people, and what I would say is people have the right to do pretty much what they feel. But just always keep in mind that flag means a lot to a lot of different emotions, especially for me, and the background that it has from past experiences. You see other Americans, die, injured in war, and just always keep that in mind when you see the flag, that there's a lot of history and continue history being made that is put onto those flags that represent that flag.
Yeah, my daughter, I have two daughters. My middle child is a daughter, and she is a performer, and she's one of the few civilians that's allowed to sing the national anthem at West Point, and she had to go through sort of like a training for that. And one of the big things that they talk about in getting her presentation of the national anthem to where it should be is that our national anthem is a story of a battle, and and you really are telling the story of the battle more than you are trying to hit big notes, and so you should be respectful of that. But the most important thing I think that she learned from this was that thing that she was singing about is something that everyone at West Point is willing to die for. And
absolutely.
it changed when I heard it explained that way. It changed my perspective of what the national anthem, and it certainly, as a teenager, changed her perspective, because this is a tribute and an oath that you're singing for an emblem that means everything in the world to us, and it's everything to the rest of the world that we're trying to go out and help and liberate and protect, right?
Right.
And when you look at it this way, I'm not a Jets fan. I dislike the Jets more than anything, but
thank God.
last week when I was rooting for the Jets against the 49ers only because I wanted to see Kaepernick lose. So, it's affected me in an interesting way. Yeah. But we do so many different things here at the radio station to work with vets and to try to help vets with the honor flight, with the Warrior Wagon.
Yes,
we do a lot to try to recognize them. We're heavily involved in the Purple Heart National Hall of Honor, which is, we're fortunate to live where we are.
Yeah, it's true. Dutchess County definitely does, the whole Hudson Valley does a lot for veterans, for the nonprofit with the Hudson Valley Veterans Alliance, the Hudson Valley Hero Project. Also, coming June 1st to the 4th is a Weekend for Warriors event, which is just phenomenal too. Just the things that, the county that provides it's a lot different from, just talking with a couple buddies that are from different states where it's just like they don't do, it's horrible. They can't get anything. The VA is horrible. And personally, I think Castle Point is pretty good, really good actually. Through the experiences that I've gone through with it.
And this is probably the most difficult time of the year for a lot of these vets, right? I mean, we have. We just had a guy that fortunately didn't jump, but was going to jump the other day off of the Mid-Hudson Bridge. This time of year is tough on everybody.
Yeah, and that's one thing, that 22 a day, which is 22 veterans a day, is
22
just
22 veterans a day commit
suicide.
In
Yes,
the
sir.
United States.
Yes, sir. Which is just, it's crazy. It's horrible. And being someone that lost two of my buddies that went out that way afterwards, it's just it hits home.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to be part of this program. It was actually the day after my buddy committed suicide. I found out about this program. I was at a party and Andrew O'Grady came up to me and told me about it, and it was like a blessing. Like seriously, I was like, this is something I need to do.
Right.
This is and just to be able to share my experience, and if my experience helps another person and makes that down to 21, that right there is just therapy in itself.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's one thing. Like even just now, if you're out there and you just want to talk, you don't have to be part of the program. Just give us a call. We'll go out and go out to lunch or something, grab a coffee, and just just talk.
Right.
And that's the one thing. And also if you want to be part of a program and be a mentor part of this program, also give us a call and we'll get you set up with that also.
Right. And it's important to understand that. I mean, one of your up and coming stars as far as mentors is somebody from the Vietnam era.
Yes.
Who has a bit of a I would say speckled history, right? You want to talk a little bit about him coming through, or at least the opportunity for these other kind of vets to come into
I won't name his name, but I will say that I've known this individual for a long time. He's a Vietnam veteran, lives in the city of Poughkeepsie area, and he pretty much has turned his life around from where he was. He had a little trouble with the law, and through the system did assist him and got him back on the right track. And now he's housed permanently, and he's better off. And we actually spoke to him this week regarding his participation in the program, and he's absolutely stoked about it. And
willing to share his story.
And
he's
any veteran is who we're looking for this program, but he's going to be a nice addition to the program.
Right. Yeah. Because it's one thing that we talk about, and given all the things that we do, I get to as the guy who runs a place, I get to talk to so many different kinds of people, and going from somebody that's going on the honor flight, a gentleman or a woman that's in their 90s, generally, right, late 80s to mid 90s now. You get to hear their experiences at war, and they're completely different than the experiences that you hear from the Korean War and the Vietnam War and the Iraqi wars. You know, and I happen to think my personal opinion is because that World War II was the last war that anybody actually won. You know, we actually had the nerve to make somebody surrender, right? Some of it might have something to do with the mindset of the purposefulness of the war and the way society welcomed people back into society. But whatever it is, you know, we need to help these folks. I firmly believe, you know, our homeless, if you look at our homeless population numbers, it's about 28% of our homeless are veterans. You know, that's just hard to imagine, and it's unacceptable, right?
That's a national number, correct?
That's a national number. It's about 28%. And one of the reasons is because, you know, veterans are somewhat reluctant to reach out for help, which they shouldn't be. And I think this kind of a peer-to-peer program will help them. This vet-to-vet kind of dynamic will help them understand that when you need help, just like when you're in a foxhole. I mean, everyone says, I wouldn't want to be in a foxhole with that guy. That's a perfect illustration of you guys jumping into the hole with them and saying, listen, I can help you get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, the homeless are like, we're willing to go in the woods and find these men and women. And I know there's a new program that we're trying to reintegrate through Dutchess County. It's called the Backpack Program, where it's filling a backpack up with essentials. And not, you know, maybe a lot of times these individuals don't even want to talk to you, which is you just go out there. Hey, this is for you. Just leave it in a spot so they have, like, you know, warm clothes, you know, survival gear and everything like that, and just ease into it. It's, you know, that's one thing that this program is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And
that's a great point.
And that's one thing that you got to understand, that this is not going to be an overnight healing process. Like, hey, you know, I'm good now. It's not about that. It's going to be a slow process, and it's going to be tough. It's not easy, but you know, neither was our service either. Our service wasn't easy, so you know as well as I do that, you know, you're able to get through this.
Yeah, and you know, you guys have seen a lot, you've done a lot, and to me, you guys were heroes to start. This is a much greater level of service, and I really, on behalf of the Hudson Valley and everyone involved, thank you so much for what you're doing and what you're trying to do, because you are making a difference in people's lives. And if you can get that number down to 21, like you said, Adam, you're doing a remarkable job. So it's Robert Jennings, the program manager. Adam Roche is the program assistant. If you need help, right, if you need help or someone in your family needs help, the phone number is 845-473-2500, 845-473-2500. Robert is extension 1306. Adam is extension 1307. But you can also get information on the program by going to MHADC.org/vet and the number 2 vet. Okay? I refer to this always as the fastest 30 minutes of radio because the conversations go by so quickly. Right. Whatever you can do to help this organization, and whatever you can do to help your friends and neighbors who are vets who are in their way. Remember, these folks, they're not weird. They're not.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Get rid of that stigma.
They have done things and seen things for our benefit, and they're struggling. We need to help them.
Yeah. Also, if you want to be part of it, part of this program, give us a call too, and we'll set you up with that.
Yeah, it's a great program, Vet to Vet. Guys, I can't thank you enough. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy and healthy and safe New Year. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
See you next week. Bye-bye.